everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and in this video, I'm going to be doing something that has been highly requested ever since I posted my reaction to the Alpha M video, and that is reacting to teaching men's fashion. So I've had a lot of people reach out with this video specifically, but also I just had a ton of DMs and messages and emails about how to talk to a girl, how to have a conversation with a girl, what to send in a text message to a girl. So I figured this was a very fitting video to react to. Instead of making my own list video, I figured why not look at someone that is well respected, well credited in the menswear and men's lifestyle community and see what they have to say and see if as a woman I agree. So I do think it's interesting to get a female perspective for this kind of thing because I have been on the receiving end of a lot of these kind of text messages. So the video specifically that I'm reacting to today is 7 texting rules that every guy breaks, and also it says stop being cringy. So I have not seen this video. I actually didn't even know who Teaching Men's Fashion was until I got comments after the Alpha M video asking me to react to him. I thought this would be an interesting one to choose. I know this is something that a lot of men really struggle with, so I'm interested to see what advice he has and what he says not to say to a girl. So let's get started.
Number one, you saw it in the beginning. Why are you asking her what she's doing? And you hitting her phone up, asking her, what are you doing? Is like the other 10 dudes asking her the same thing. This puts a lot of stress on her end, and this is why she just ends up throwing the ball back and telling you not much. What are you doing? Because you're not creating any excitement for her. So what's gonna happen is that you're gonna get dry text from her, and don't blame her, blame yourself, because all you're doing is trying to get her to entertain you when it should be the other way around.
Okay, I totally agree with this one. I think a lot of times guys will send a very dry text that has like no purpose. Try to be a little bit more interesting or say something that gets her engaged in a conversation with you, not something super dry. But I completely agree with that first message. If you send something super dry and something super boring, there's gonna be no reason for her to respond to you. Okay, number 2.
Good morning or good night text. I hate these texts. The reason for it is, boys, that she only wants to see these from the guy that she's actually crushing on, and I promise you, the guy that she's obsessed with probably doesn't even send it to her all that much, which is why it makes her obsessed and wants it more. You should not be sending these text messages until you've built some sort of emotional or sexual connection with this girl. If that hasn't happened yet, stop sending it. Number 3.
That is such a good point, and actually I have some guy friends that have, told me that they've done this, and I just in my head I'm like, no, please no. Why did you do that? It's something that was like a middle school, like high school thing, but as you get older, this is something that is just absolutely so cringy. And like he said, especially if you haven't really developed in like an emotional attraction with this person and you know that the other person really likes you back, if you say that to a girl that you've never met before, it's really weird. Just don't do that. Okay, number 3.
You're sweaty post-gym pictures. This is like a PG-13 dick pic. No girl wants to see a picture of you, of your body, or of your dick, if you want to go rated R, without any sexual interaction. Kind of like I mentioned before, if there's none of that built up already, she doesn't want to see it. Moreover, most of you don't even properly groom yourself.
This is so true. I cannot tell you. I'm going to give you a little secret. Don't send a girl a picture unless she specifically asks for it. I cannot tell you, even me being on Instagram since I've been posting on YouTube, there have been guys that have messaged me inappropriate photos that I clearly did not ask for because I have a boyfriend, and this was like the first thing they ever sent to me. The ultimate cringe, you guys. Don't ever be a guy that does that. I promise you it will not be well received. Text her something, literally anything else besides a shirtless pic or an inappropriate pic, as he mentioned. I will not get graphic here, but I think you all can allude to what I am speaking about. So just please, if you take any advice from this video, don't do this. Honestly, if a guy sends a shirtless picture and I barely know him, it can come across as very douchey and like you're very into yourself and narcissistic, which You know, maybe there's girls out there that are really into that. Maybe they want to see pictures of your body 24/7, but there are also girls that will not be into this. Some of these things, some girls will be totally unfazed by, but a lot of girls are going to think all of this is super cringy. So keep that in mind as well. 9 out of 10 times, this advice is totally 100% accurate. Do not send a shirtless pic or an inappropriate photo unless she asks for it. Okay, number 4, here we are.
When she's left you delivered. Guys, if she's left you delivered, this is my rule of thumb. You know, there's gonna be some times where girls genuinely just get busy, right? And they leave you on red. But if it happens more than 3 to 4 times, this is my limit. Let it go. Like, move on. This girl has zero interest of talking to you, because I promise you, if you were the guy of her dreams, that girl would respond to you in seconds.
So incredibly true. You guys, I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten a text and I'm not into the person, so I don't reply. Or this has happened to my friends even, and the guy continues to text and blow up her phone and ask her why she's not texting you back. You guys, respect yourself. I'm saying this as your best girlfriend. I'm saying this as your wing woman. I want to be there for you. Please do not triple text her, quadruple text her. If she wants to talk to you, she will, I promise. And you deserve better than someone who is going to leave you on red and not respond. You know, I totally understand chasing a girl that you want. You really like this girl, but there comes a point when you have to realize if you know, you're ever gonna cross that line with her. So if she's just not into you, I don't really understand the appeal of trying so hard to get her to like you back when there are plenty of other girls out there that want to talk to you and want to respond to you and have a conversation with you. I think sometimes guys just try way too hard to get a certain girl or one specific girl to reply to him when she's not into him at all, and you're just wasting your time, and you deserve better than that. So I wish as a woman I could say that all girls are very upfront and honest, and so many girls do this, but I think a lot of times it comes from a place of thinking that they don't want to hurt your feelings and they don't want to tell you that they don't like you, and so they avoid it instead. And I think guys do this too. I think this is something that is, you know, totally done on both sides of the spectrum. But like I said, if a girl is not texting you back, it means that she doesn't like you, because if a girl likes you, she's gonna want to talk to you. Anytime in the past that I have really liked a guy, I've wanted to talk to them a lot, and there was never a time when I was ignoring them unless we were already dating and I was mad at them for something. So like I said, if a girl wants to talk to you, she will, and don't keep blowing up her phone, because it's just going to make her solidify in her mind that she doesn't want to talk to you. So think about if a girl was texting you and you were not into her at all, and so you stopped texting her, and then she blows up your phone like, why aren't you responding to me? Why aren't you talking to me? It just goes on and on and on. You're gonna be like, whoa, I really dodged a bullet with this girl. I'm happy that I'm not replying to her and that I don't want to continue this with her. So she's gonna think the same thing if you're doing that to her. So just tread carefully with this. I think that he said the good rule of thumb, if it happens 3 or 4 times, I think just call it quits. There comes a point when you just know that she's not into you and there's no point in continuing to try. So I do agree with this 100%. I think that he is completely 100% right. Next.
Simp move that I've ever seen a guy do, and every guy does it. Don't tell me you don't. This is probably gonna bring back some PTSD as well. Asking her why she doesn't respond back. Look, if a girl ever leaves you delivered, there are great ways to follow up with her that don't seem pathetic. For example, one of my favorite ones, let's say you're texting her and for whatever reason she leaves you delivered, let it go, let it rest for a day, don't panic, go on social media and maybe follow up with her there through an Instagram post. If she posts anything on her stories or on her post, drop a comment and make sure it's something that doesn't show that you're salty that left you delivered. Make it as if she didn't even leave you delivered and as if you're starting fresh. Like dropping a nice comment or responding to her story, whatever it is. This is a good way to follow up without seeming desperate.
So that was another good point as well. Do not ever, I know I said it before, do not ever send a girl a text saying, why aren't you texting me back? It makes you seem so desperate, and I mean this seriously in the nicest way, guys. You do not want to be talking to a girl that makes you feel like you have to stoop down to that level and ask her why she is not texting you back. It doesn't matter why. There could be a million reasons why she's not texting you back, but it doesn't matter because she's not texting you back. So don't continue. Don't make yourself look bad. Just honestly ignore it And if anything, ignoring it is going to make her probably want to talk to you more. I know that's stupid, and I know that's like a game that people play, but a lot of people do it, and I'm just being honest. So do not ever send a text like that. And also then what he said about following up on social media, I kind of agree with that and I kind of don't, because if I didn't want to talk to a guy and he reached out to me in another way, it might seem a little bit desperate to me also. Obviously, it depends on the situation, and there are some cases when what he said is completely true and I think it's okay. But like he mentioned, don't seem salty that she didn't text you back. Don't even bring it up if you're going to reach out to her on another social media platform. But I will say this. If you reach out to her on social media and she doesn't reply to you on there, or she replies to you on there but doesn't text you back, she doesn't like you. Because if she liked you, she would not only reply to you on the social media app that you just followed up with her on, but she would also text you back. So if you don't get that text back, that is a surefire sign that she does not want to talk to you and she doesn't like you. So I hate to say it. I hate to be the one to out girls everywhere, to throw them under the bus, but you guys, it's just the cold hard truth, and I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. So like I said, kind of agree with this one, kind of don't. Just really tread carefully with that one. I think this is the last one.
So every time I texted a girl, I texted with an end goal. I'll give you an example. When I slid into the DMs,
I mentioned this in the beginning.
She was the hottest thing ever. However, she was in Boston, so you can imagine how hard it is for me to create sexual attraction with a woman that is like 3,000 miles away from me. So what did I do? I needed a goal in mind. I had two. My first goal was I wanted to get her on a FaceTime call. This is my first goal because I am better in person interaction. And then second, right after that FaceTime call, I wanted her on a real date. So when you text a woman, use texting as a catapult to get you to a goal. If you don't have a goal, most of you will not seal the deal or close the deal through text messages.
Yep.
And that's basically it for this week's video, guys. Those are 7
You guys, that is so true. I mentioned having an end goal in mind at the beginning of the video because I think a lot of guys will just text a girl to text her and not have, something in their head. They're like, okay, I want to take this girl on a date. Okay, I want to get this girl on the phone. And so it's very obvious when you're texting her, and a lot of times I think that's why the conversation is so dry and so boring, because it's not like leading up to anything. As someone who has talked to people that, I maybe met online that I haven't met in person yet, I do not want to FaceTime a guy before I meet him. I think that is so incredibly weird. I don't know if that's just me. I feel like a lot of girls probably feel that way too. I know I've had this conversation with some of my friends before, but I don't want to FaceTime you until I like you and I've met you in person. I just think it's so strange to be FaceTiming someone that I've never met before. And I know that's like how you get to know somebody, but I don't know. I just think it's kind of weird. Do you guys think it's weird? Have you ever done that? I would love to know down in the comments below because I'm actually really curious. So just a personal story to give a girl's perspective about this. There was one time when I met a guy on Tinder and, we hit it off over the messages and I gave him my number. And so he texted me, and we had only been texting for like a couple of days, and he was like in the same city that I was from, but I was in college and I was really busy, so I couldn't meet up with him. And he like asked me to talk on the phone, asked me to FaceTime, and it was just a really big turn off for me. Like I hadn't even met him in person, and he was already asking me to talk on the phone all the time and FaceTime all the time. That's just weird to me. It comes off very like abrasive when a guy's like, do you want to FaceTime? Like right away. Really be careful when you're asking a girl to FaceTime. I think that unless you're in a specific situation when you're long distance or something like that, you shouldn't really talk on the phone or FaceTime until you hang out. I think that's kind of weird. I know every girl is different. Maybe some girls are out there asking you to FaceTime and you're like, what the heck? I don't want to FaceTime this girl. I don't even know her. So just know when it's appropriate to call her and when it's not, like I mentioned. So guys, that concludes my reaction to 7 texting rules that every guy breaks and to stop being cringy by teaching men fashion. I think that I agreed with almost everything that he said. I do think it's just nice to kind of get that reassurance from a girl that the person that you're listening to and devoting so much time to watching their videos is telling you something that is honest and correct, and just solidifying what you're listening to is true. Getting a female perspective is just kind of a fresh way of looking at things and makes you feel a little bit more confident when you're sending that text to the girl that you like. I hope you guys all found this helpful. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Would love to do more videos like this in the future. If you did find this video helpful, be sure to like it and subscribe to my channel for when I release new content. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I've been loving connecting with all of you guys on there, so be sure to follow me on there as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.